thousands, millions of followers every day. And she still hasn't said anything. Just pretending like life is great in Paris.
Is it her place to say so?
I mean, probably not, considering she's gonna be indicted for anything she would say. These are criminals. Diddy is a drug dealer, and so is Jay Z. The proof is...
Rumor has it that Beyoncé may be postponing her tour and fleeing to another country with Jay Z, because the prosecutors intend to implicate some of Diddy's associates by naming them in court. B and J are reportedly at the top of that list. At first, people believed Jay was the one having an affair with Diddy, and that Beyoncé was dragged into it. But it turns out that she was amenable to the foolishness and is now afraid that they will be the next to fall if they don't leave the country now. As most of you are aware, Jay and Beyoncé were best friends with Diddy before this mess came to light. But after Diddy was indicted, they discreetly broke up with him. Shortly before Diddy was arrested, he disclosed that there were only two people in the world who he permitted to call him Sean, and that was his mother, Janice Combs, and Beyoncé. Beyoncé was also making plans to make as much money as she could and then file for divorce from Jay, now that she and Jay are being targeted along with him. They intend to pull a Russell Simmons by fleeing together to a country without any us. Treaties.jz. Diddy used to invite Jay and Beyoncé to their annual ROC Nation brunch, and there were multiple pictures of the two of them on his website. However, after Cassie filed that lawsuit, they dropped Diddy like a hot potato, and there hasn't been another ROC Nation brunch since. Despite this, people continued to do their own research and connect the two. And not too long ago, the baby shared a story about how he met Beyoncé and Jay at Diddy's house for a private meeting that later became what many consider to be a freak-off in
the crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Mm-hmm. Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know.
Right.
Jay Z and Beyoncé being, you know, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to.
Right.
Beyoncé, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop, and that was just dope.
The youngster is a complete mess. Jay worked closely with Diddy, so when he was caught, people demanded that he be imprisoned as well because there was no way that he was unaware of or involved in the freakouts. To begin with, Jay has comparable accusations against him that will make you question whether he is simply another Diddy. When he was revealed to have coerced Foxy Brown, who was just 15 at the time, into a relationship with him in exchange for a Hollywood career, he faced a lot of criticism a few years back.
A romantical thing, it's all right, I'll say alleged, but we know. Yeah, she hit it before Beyoncé.
Jay paid Foxy a lot of money to keep this secret, according to people who said they witnessed the entire incident. Was later verified by Jay's longtime friend and former business partner, Dame Dash, who became extremely defensive when questioned about Jay and Foxy's affair. He didn't exactly accuse Jay of having an affair with the 15-year-old Foxy, but he also didn't deny it.
What age was Foxy Brown signed?
I wasn't paying attention to Foxy Brown.
But that's...
I didn't sign Foxy Brown.
I know you did. I'm just asking a question.
Because I'm on the block. I'm responsible for everybody.
You the boss.
Yo, don't beat around the bush. Say what you want
I'm
to say.
just asking.
What do you mean by that question?
I was just asking.
What are you insinuating?
I'm not insinuating. I just asked the question.
I
thought Foxy was like 16. That's all I'm saying.
It sounds like you.
All I'm saying is in this industry, when we live in these glass houses.
It seems like you got a question for Jay. Ask him. Y'all keep asking me questions you don't want to ask him because he ain't here. Ask him.
Many people couldn't help but notice how similar Jay's behavior was to Diddy's when it came to how he treated the women in his life. They said it was very similar to what Diddy did to Cassie, who he started dating when she was just 19 years old and promised her a career in Hollywood, only for him to put her through hell. Oh, but baby Dame wasn't done exposing Jay Z yet. He went on to reveal more details about DJ's raging obsession with underage girls. He claimed to have stopped hanging out with Jay when he realized that Jay had no plans to distance himself from R. Kelly. Even after R. Kelly was exposed for lying about Aaliyah's age and marrying her when she was only 15 years old. That Jay would stop hanging around him, but he didn't. In fact, H and R. Kelly collaborated on an album called The Best of Both Worlds, and they even went on tour together. Dame also revealed that Jay wanted to date Aaliyah after R. Kelly was done with her. It seemed as though they had bet on whether or not he would be able to sleep with her, as R. Kelly had already gotten her when she was 15. She was more interested in a relationship with Jay than in a romantic relationship. Thus, she declined his invitations to parties and flowers.
As well, and I didn't know. He was sending flowers and he was courting her.
Because the rumor originally was that you were connected to Jay. Exactly. Jay and I were hanging out a lot. He's my homie. We have a lot of fun together.
Following DJ's strange relationship with Foxy and his failed attempt at a relationship with Aaliyah. It was rumored that J.R. Kelly and Diddy planned Aaliyah's death as a sacrificial death. The strange thing is that Aaliyah never wanted to board the plane. Instead, she was given a sedative against her will, and once she was unconscious, they threw her inside. According to numerous reports at the time, Beyoncé's family was against the relationship, but by that time, he had already hooked her. There was nothing they could do about it. In a 2007 interview with Charlie Rose, Jay revealed that he met Beyoncé when she was 16 but waited until she was 18 before making a move on her. Like Foxy and Aaliyah, he was also very young and just trying to make his way in the industry. Beyoncé had a single boyfriend in high school and had no real-life dating experiences prior to meeting Jay. She was essentially naive about many things, and Jay took advantage of her lack of social life as a child because she was devoted to her career from a young age.
I feel like she never got to experience life with the different types of people, and the fact that he was so old, low-key, I feel like the only way she expresses herself is through her music. And like I don't know them, obviously, but I'm just saying, just like by seeing the age gap and what happens between that age gap, she never got to live outside.
To make matters worse, Beyoncé's former bodyguard, Uncle Ron, just came clean about Jay Z's involvement in getting her addicted to drugs so he could manipulate her.
I say, man, yeah, Beyonce's on drugs. She been on them for.
When it comes to Beyoncé, it doesn't appear that she's doing well either, as a source claims that she has been looking for a way to leave Jay ever since this whole situation began, and has even considered suicide. This is very similar to what Diddy did to Cassie, who accuses Diddy of giving her drugs and alcohol, including K and Kiwi, which led to her developing dangerous addictions that controlled her life. She's done with the control, the pressure, and the managers who make all of her decisions because she doesn't know whether she can endure the shame that's coming. The insider claimed that they're frightened. She depart without warning, and they're right to be. The singer is depressed and contemplates she poses a threat to herself. But her staff is more worried about losing their revenue stream because they have managed her for years. Although it's unclear how deeply Beyoncé and Jay are involved in all of this, people are not giving up on them and are demanding that they be arrested, or at the very least have their passports seized before they leave the country. As usual, people had opinions, such as this person who said, "She's on the verge of rebelling because she's tired of her husband's influence and her mother's control. Never cared for Beyoncé. Even with Destiny's Child, I was more into Aaliyah. But when Aaliyah died and Beyoncé was pushed to the top of the label overnight, I knew there was something wrong." Another individual stated, "Everyone kept saying Diddy wasn't going to jail after they raided his homes. Indeed, he was imprisoned. And everybody implicated in Diddy's heinous actions will receive or charged too. So it's just a matter of time." But now I'd like to know what you think about Beyoncé and Jay being singled out to be the next to go down. And do you think they're actually planning to leave the country? Also, don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.